So let's talk about Reiki. Reiki is awesome sauce. Reiki is an amazing practice. It is a standalone practice of healing. It's a healing modality. It is its own method, and it's a complete method. It's a spiritual system. It's an entire spiritual system, and it's completely compatible with what we do as Lazy Monkey yoga instructors. Now, obviously, I've got warnings for you and recommendations. I'm a Reiki master. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. I received my first attunement 20 years ago. And Reiki really changed my life. Reiki and Reiki energy, or opening myself up to the universal chi energy, heavenly chi, earthly chi, and it all goes together. It's all very intimately connected with each other. Matter of fact, I always keep a picture of Master Yasui, who is the founder of the kind of Reiki that we're talking about today. I also keep a picture of Alan Watts, because in my mind, those are the masters. Those are the masters that I have allowed to shape my spiritual path when it comes to yoga and everything else. Be careful with Reiki practitioners. And I say this because these days there are people that say you can attune yourself to Reiki by watching a YouTube video. You can attune yourself to Reiki by paying someone online or taking an online Zoom class and then receiving Reiki via the internet or something, or over the phone. And I'm here to tell you that traditionally that is not how it's done. That is not how it's performed. That's not how it's practiced. Reiki is living vitality energy. It is a particular kind of energy that one's personal frequency, vibration has to meld with, connect. It has to integrate with one another. Me, as a practitioner, receiving Reiki, and the Reiki energy that is being given to me by a Reiki master. It's a transmission of a particular frequency of energy that you're buying into. I would say buy into it, whatever. So a master has to be physically present with you to attune you to level 1, 2, and 3 of traditional Reiki. That's it. That master is walking around vibrating at a particular frequency. And when they do a Reiki initiation on you through ceremonial ritual style, they are opening you up, and they are doing a transference of power of the Reiki energy they hold in the lineage to you, so that you start receiving that energy. It's like batteries charging one another. So you have to make sure that if you decide that you want to practice Reiki, or you want to learn how to practice Reiki, and you want to be a Reiki professional, let's put it that way. Anyone can practice Reiki techniques. That all the videos that are on this lesson, in this lesson, beneath us, talk about how you can start practicing Reiki on yourself. You absolutely can practice Reiki on yourself. You can do all of the exercises, all the cleansing exercises and the energetic, the meditations. Everything contained in the book, The Japanese Art of Reiki, that I recommended to you, absolutely practice all of those things. And you would be just fine on your own practicing that by yourself. But if you ever decide that you want to become attuned, to become a practitioner, you are absolutely going to have to be ordained or attuned by a master, and that master has to be physically present for you to receive that energy, because Reiki energy is palpable. You can feel it. It's a physical force. It's an actual physical force that lives and breathes and resides around all things and in certain individuals. And that's my only warning about learning Reiki from different people, because anybody who tells you that they can attune you to Reiki over the phone or through a YouTube video or through an email or through a Zoom class is not a traditional Reiki practitioner. I'm not saying they're not practicing Reiki. They're practicing their version of Reiki, but they're not practicing the Asui version of Reiki, which is the original Reiki that became popularized in the West. Yes, that's very, very important to know. That's really the only warning that I have for you. Everything else, all of the sacred symbols that used to be secret that were passed in attunements and in initiations are totally available online. Now, here's what's interesting about talisman, sigils, symbols, whether they be voodoo veves or patipimbas and palomayombe or Reiki symbols or whatever symbols that you choose to use. Seals, okay? If you're not attuned to that spiritual practice and discipline, or you're not attuned to that energy, they're not going to work. The symbols are not going to work for you unless you receive the attunement. Now you might say, oh, well, you know what, now you're gatekeeping. Well, no, not really. That's just the way the rules were set up by the masters that practice these things. So you can definitely dive into Reiki practice for yourself and learn everything you can about Reiki, even crystal Reiki, how to use Reiki with crystals. But when it comes time for you to decide whether or not you want to do Reiki, you're going to have to get attuned by a Reiki master. I do attune people to the Reiki. That's something that you want to do. Eventually, you would have to come to me in order to get the attunement. But I want you to learn. I want you to open yourself up to this concept of energy healing, because it all goes together. The lazy monkey yoga style and Reiki energy and being protecting and healing and nurturing the body, the mind, the spirit, and the energy body. It's all part of it. It's all one big ball of wax with many different components to it. So I want you to check it out, watch these videos, try some of these things, and journal about it.